what's happening, people. My name is Rudra Kush and welcome to my channel. So first of all, I want to thank each and every one of you for showing such tremendous love and support to my previous videos. It just feels so amazing. It's also worth mentioning that I love seeing all these beautiful comments on my videos, as it inspires me to make more videos like this for you guys. So make sure you tell me how do you like these videos, and if you have any suggestions, please leave it in the comments. One more thing, we are so close to hit 2000 subscribers, so make sure you smash that subscribe button. So I was checking my videos and this particular one, it seems like a lot of you guys like it. So we are back again with the sequel of how to make a track in the style of Anyma and Afterlife. So as usual, we'll be breaking down the track which you heard in the intro of this video. So without further ado, let's just jump into the tutorial. So here's the project. I'm gonna quickly play a snippet of it. Alright, so that was the track. Let's break down this bad boy starting from the top till bottom. So I'm gonna start with the bare bone of the track, which is the low end. And let's see. So I have this kick sound here. So this is from the producer school, and this is the sample that I have used. So really cool stuff from those guys. They make really good stuff and I really like them. Really deep and nice punchy kick. So we have an EQ here rolling off the 30 Hertz and just a dip around 500 Hertz to remove the boxiness of the kick. Then we have a saturator with 8% drive, and I'm also lowering down the output so that we are gain matching, and just an auto filter which is being automated throughout the track, and I can show you that here. So for the intro section, the kick is being filtered, and of course when we drop it into the bass, it plays the full sound. And you can see I have actually automated it almost like, at the end of the phrase, like 8 bars and sometimes 16 bars. So, and I'm not sure what that is. So yeah, pretty usual stuff. And I also have this top kick. It sounds like this, just to add a little more depth to the kick. And this one is actually from, I think, yeah, it's from the Kashmir sample pack, and this is the name of the top kick which I have used. And I think I just have an EQ on it with the almost with the same processing, and then an auto filter and just a utility to make it quieter in the mix. That's all. So both of the kicks sounds like this. So it just adds that top click on the kick, which just helps to cut through the mix a little bit more. All right, so let's move on to the most interesting thing of the track, for me at least. It's the bass, which is, this is the main bass that I was using, and it's from Serum. Again, this is just two simple saw waves, octave down, and just a plucky envelope. And this one is assigned to the filter, and this is the shape, and it's a pretty simple patch, but it's very effective. Let me show you. This is the MIDI pattern that I came up with, and just a 16th note bassline pattern, and we have some octaves jumps. So with the kick, it sounds like this. Nasty. So for the bass, I have a saturator, and this one from Black Box Analog Design. This is a really good plugin if you want to add some saturation or some distortion to your sound. This is so good. So let me just solo this for you. It just adds the little sweet crunch on the top, which I really like. And followed by this second bass. It's sort of a mid bass, and this is again just two saw waves with the 7 semitones on one of the oscillators. It sounds like this. Just a plug sound with the similar envelope shape, which is assigned to the filter here. Of course, you have to shave off the low end because we are just layering this bass and we don't want the low end to clash with each other. So let me show you the full sound here. With the kick. So already we have a very solid groove here, which instantly reminds me of. So I think that's it for the low end. Oh wait, there's one more Reese bass here, which I am only using in the break section. So let me just play that for you guys. Here is the pattern if you wanna check. It's very basic, but it's effective. And it's again from Serum, and again just two detuned saw waves with some glide on the top, and nothing really crazy here. Of course, I think I'm using so I'm using some distortion here to make that bass a little more crunchy, and this is hyper dimension. I don't really think I'm using that, but I think I didn't like it. Yeah. So just a touch of distortion, and this is how it sounds in the break with all the other elements.
Infinite expanse.
So Reese basses, I like to use them in break sections. It just fills all the emptiness of the track in the break and helps to glue everything together. And this is just like, lost in the moment kind of feeling. So I just love using Reese bass in my breaks. So, yep. All right, so yeah, I think that was everything for the low end. I do have this group here for these two main basses, so main bass and that mid bass, and these two are combined into a group. And of course, I'm just automating the low cut here in certain areas of the track. And of course, so it is the same thing with the filter. I have some saturation here with just 4% of drive, 4 decibels of drive, followed by a side chain, which is at 80%. So yeah, that's it for our low end. Let's move on with the rest of the drums. So first of all, again, some loops from the Producer School sample pack, Astral, and I really like these. They are just perfect. I mean, you can just throw them off in your productions. There you go. So I do have this vocoder here, and I am actually automating this release and this drive it. So you can hear these hi-hats opening up a bit, and this just gives us such a nice effect. So next we have this auto pan at 40% with a very slow rate, and it's just moving from left to right. For the other hat, this is the other hat that I have. So just a low cut and nothing else. This compressor, I'm not using it, and just controlling the volume. Next we have this snare sound. All right, so this has a little bit of reverb, and I'm using a room reverb. This is the plugin that I'm using, Valhalla Room. Very nice plugin. And this is the preset that I am using, Snare Big Room. And I have actually tweaked the decay to make it long a little bit. And of course, we are just cutting some low end, and that's all. So we are layering this snare with another snare. So whenever you guys are layering sounds, make sure you are actually adding something to it. I mean, like, don't layer stuff which are in the same frequency range. So like here, this sound is more on the high end, and this one is the, this one is the body of the snare. So if you play it together, it just gives you one full sound. All right, so next we have these build-up snares. Again, just a sound from the Production Music Live Sample Pack D Premium Volume 7. And this is the snare sound that I'm using. Has a low cut on it and followed by a auto pan. And we are automating the volume. So it's starting from -8 and it reaches to 0 where our build-up ends. And for the build-up, I am using, I think, yes, I'll go through this what's on my master at the end of the video. But for now, that reverb effect was coming from this plugin, which is just a build-up plugin. I really do like this animation here. All right, crazy stuff. So let's move on. These are the same snares, same MIDI here for snares. And I have this one also. This one is just a snare fill, 16 notes. That's all. And going to the same room reverb. And I think, okay, yeah, one more thing here. The rides, which I am only introducing to the final climax of the track. So, and I think I have an auto pan here. Yep. Way quieter in the mix, and it just adds that little shimmer on the top, which gives more energy to the drop. I might make it a little loud, I think. So let's go for minus 20k. Next, we have these claps here. So yeah, these are only in the build-up section. Just a regular clap sound. Nothing crazy. Just a room reverb, the same reverb. We are running out of the battery. Yeah, so I was saying, make sure you do have at least one common reverb for all of your drums. It just helps to glue everything together. Like all the drums, you will feel like all the drums are coming from the same room, and it just helps to bring cohesiveness in the track. And of course, if it's for sound designing purpose, you can add multiple reverbs also. But make sure you do send some of the elements to the same room so that it sounds cohesive. That's it for the drums. Now to the more interesting part, which is the lead sounds. We don't really have much sounds here, and yeah, that is the key to the to these type of tracks. You don't really need much. I mean, like this is the same lead sound, this one, which I have recycled and just tweaked a little bit and used it in the B section of the drop. So yeah, I mean, less is the key. So let's start from this first lead sound, which is this. Actually, this is a stab sound. Yep. Let me play you from the drop actually, because I have some automations going on in that section. So again, this is from the wavetable synth in Ableton. So if you want to check how I made that patch in detail, I have a dedicated video here. So this is just a quick patch that I designed in wavetable synth, and with the short envelope and with a frequency modulation. So I'm using a pedal which brings out a lot of the crunchiness in the sound. It just brings out so much from the sound. Next, another great plugin from Output. This is Thermal, which I really love. And this is a distortion module, but this can go crazy sometimes, so I'd like to use it in parallel, like 50% sometime, and sometimes just like 5 to 10%. But this is a really good plugin for that modern distorted sound. So here is with and without it. Let me just turn off the reverb for now. It just adds the high end in the top, which I really like. And of course, we have our old friend here, which is the Valhalla room, and at 2.9 seconds decay. And what I'm doing here is I'm just compressing the reverb with its own signal for a side chain effect. I might do it a little heavy, I think. So this compressor is actually just ducking the reverb when the original signal is playing, and the result is actually way cleaner reverb. And we have this auto filter, which I am using to introduce the lead sound. And I am also automating this delay send here. Just to make the lead sound like more interesting as it slowly builds up towards the main drop. And in the drop, I am actually layering this lead sound with this. So I'm using this noise here, which is actually contributing to the main lead sound. So nothing really crazy. This is just a plug sound. I think I created this. I'm actually working for a sample pack, so hopefully soon I will be making some sample packs for you guys. So yeah, this one is just a plug sound with very short envelope, which is modulating this filter cutoff here. All right, good stuff. And of course, we have some effects like usual, some distortion and hyperdimension, reverb, and delay. And if you want to check these settings, here are they. And we have this Saturn 2 plugin also. Just adding a little bit more saturation to the sound. And of course, we have to cut the low end here, because when you add saturation, it also adds unwanted low end in the sound. So make sure whenever you adding saturation on any sort of distortion on your sound, make sure you check, put a EQ afterwards and roll off some low end. That's it for that sound. And this is the main lead sound, which I really, really love. This is the sound. Let me play from the drop section actually. So we all know, to get that typical Anyma vibe, you have to include 30-second notes like I have here. Anyma melodies and all the Afterlife melodies, I don't think so that they are really that complex. The main thing is, which is the sound design. So you have to work on the sound design more than your melodies here, because I have seen like some of the tracks, it's just like one note, that's all. But what's making it interesting, it's the actual processing done on that sound. So I would say like work as much as you can if you want to like release your tracks on Afterlife or something. So they are well known for their sound design, which is just crazy. For the processing here, we have a little bit processing here. So first of all, this patch is from Serum, and this is I'm not sure, but I think I borrowed this patch from somewhere. If you want to check out, this is the name, but I'm just collecting some sounds which I really like. But this is the name of the sound. I'm not really sure which sample pack it was, but this is the sound. And of course, I tweaked some of the settings here to fit this sound like better in my mix. So these are just two basic MG analog shapes here from the wavetable, and of course we have LFO that is modulating this one, And for the effects, we have distortion, and that same LFO is also assigned here on the filter. And just a EQ to roll off the low end, and a multi-band compressor to make it more crunchy and on the face. And of course, lastly, we have this delay. All right, moving on, we have this EQ, which is rolling off 180 hertz ish, which is just to make the room for bass. And the same good old trick to sidechain the reverb. And we are using this chamber reverb, 3 seconds of the decay, excuse me. And then this one is also one of my favorite plugins. This is actually Better Maker from Plugin Alliance. This is a very, very, very nice plugin. Let me show you, like, if I boost this sound to, let's say this one. Of course, we will not do that, but what I wanted to show here is, like, if you boost it all the way to the up, it still sounds so good. And I'm just using it at very low settings here, just adding that little 4K on the top here. All right, next we have, again, my favorite, thermal. And this one is just at 18% mix. But you see how much difference it's making here. And always have a EQ after you add a distortion. And this distortion also introduces like a lot of high end. So I'm just like rolling it off, around 14K to leave the room for hi-hats and cymbals. Then we have a compressor to glue everything together. Slow attack and release to make it more glued. Next, we have this utility just to control the gain. And this one is, I think, only I'm using it here in this section to make this one a little more quiet in the mix when it comes to the break. So, yep, pretty usual stuff. Next, this is the lead sound, the second part of the drop. Okay, so something interesting is going on here. Let's see. So this is the MIDI that I created. Let me just turn off that arpeggiator and this chain here. Again, a very basic melody here. One secret, not really a secret, but I would say like one common thing that I have seen Anyma really likes to do is basically to move up and down in the scale. Like this one, you see, it's just moving one note up in the scale, which just gives that, I would say, like very focused vibe. Let me show you. And you can also see here in this previous melody, I'm just going up in the scale. So going up and going down. So I have this arpeggiator plugin from Ableton. It's set to 116 with a gate of 70 and straight, and on up mode with the groove straight. Of course, we have some glide also here. And as I was telling earlier, this is the same patch that I'm using. I just tweaked the wavetables. Earlier, I was using the basic MG. So, I just changed it to something else. So this is a really cool tip that I would say for quick sign design. If you really like a patch, try changing the wavetables a bit and see what you like. Just example, if you like, you can press this button next, 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 and until you find a sound that you like, just keep on pressing next. So same exact patch, just with a different wavetable. We have a EQ with this low cut, and I was hearing this resonant frequency around 5K, which I also cut here. Next, okay, so we have a bunch of distortion here. So let me just play you the sound before and after. So first we have this OTT with 33%. Then a reverb, then again an OTT with 33%, then this thermal plugin with just 15 to 16% of dry wet, and lastly followed by one more OTT just to bring everything together. So I'm gonna add these one by one, and we'll show you what effect it's creating here. So let's just turn them off all. So with the first OTT, if you add a reverb, and after that reverb, if you add some sort of distortion plugin, it just creates a really nice sound. The reverb is also actually being modulated or being affected by the distortion, and I really like that sound. See how it's also affecting the reverb. And then thermal. One more OTT. Why not? So yeah, that was just my distortion chain. Instant vibes. And of course, as always, have EQ after your distortion. You can, of course, add a low cut and also a high cut in some cases, because with the distortion it brings a lot of highs, and I wanted to keep the high section like after 14K, like this area for my cymbals only. So okay, cool. So this is what this is. Yeah, I think I'm not really using it. Yeah, this was just a layer that I was trying to add for this sound, but I end up not using it. Yeah, the volume is actually all the way to the 0. So yeah, I mean, like, layer only when you think it's necessary. I mean, here in this case, I tried it, but it didn't work. And later on, I find out like I don't really need it. So this is the comparison if you want to see. Let me just run the volume up a little bit first. The reason why I didn't use it, because in this particular section we have a lot of sounds, as you can see here, and it was not really contributing much to the mix, so I end up not using it. Let's just turn it off. All right, perfect. So next we have this is the same lead here. So I bounced it here. So just a low cut, and this actually there's just a low cut on this. Yep, nothing on it. I think I just did it to save some CPU. Then we have this ARP sound, which is only playing in the first section of the song, and this is the sound. So yeah, this ARP sound, this just adds so much to the groove, and this is a really good and effective way to make your tracks more groovy and more, danceable in a sense. So if I just mute this one, and notice when I add it back, it just wanna like make you wanna dance. And of course there is some stuff going on in the processing. So first of all, I like to modulate some stuff in the synth, which I really like. For example, here we have two LFOs. One of them is modulating this frequency. Earlier I was trying to draw the automation, that's why you see this little dot here, but then I ended up using a LFO instead. So this one is modulating the frequency at a very, very, very slow rate, and this is slowly going up and down all the time. Other than this, we have this frequency mod, which is just this envelope, filter envelope. So this is also being modulated here. So this just helps to keep the sound interesting, because we are just using the same notes over and over again. But stuff like this helps you to make these simple sounds like interesting. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm using Diva, another one of my favorite plugins. Very cool, yeah. So next we have these chords here. Just the same chord progression here. These are the notes if you are interested in that, and we are of course working in B minor. Just some basic triads, nothing crazy here. So this is a patch from Serum again, and basic mini, and this Juno waveform here. The main thing to notice here is to actually this LFO, which is actually modulating a lot of things here. First, this fine tune here for both of the oscillators, which gives that wobbly vibe. And the same LFO is assigned to these phases also. And for the envelope, we have a long decay and a long release. All right, so for processing, just some usual stuff: hyperdimension, chorus to make it wide in the mix, delay, and reverb. And yes, I'm also sidechaining into the kick. And we have more chorus here. Chorus is a great tool to add, width to your sounds. So stuff like pads, sometimes like mid basses or stab sounds. I like to use chorus. So yeah, nothing crazy, just a low cut and a chorus. And this one is just a high string sound, which is being sidechained. So string sound is of course, so it just helps to maintain that tension all the time. Let me just show you. Notice that string sound in the back. So in breaks also, this works really, really well. So this string sound actually glues up everything. This is a very subtle sound, but at the same time, it's contributing a lot to the mix. So yep, another common thing you can do in these type of tracks. All right, so yeah, I think that was it for the melodic stuff. And we have, okay, yeah, I think this is just an atmospheric sound. Yep. So yeah, what I did was, this was the name of the preset. I think I used just a regular ARP. Any ARP would work here. Just throw a bunch of reverb on the top and just resample it. And that's exactly what I did here. And then just low cut and increasing the width a little bit. All right, yeah, that's all. And lastly, we have our effects here. So bunch of effects. The main thing that you might want to see is the vocal, which is right here.
The universe is both our origin and destination, and in its infinite expanse, we discover the boundless possibility of existence.
So yeah, I get a lot of questions where I'm getting these vocals from, but once again, these are just from like free AI websites. I know nowadays there are a lot of options, but at the same time they are paid ones. And I did find I think this website, tts.mps.com. I'm not really sure, but I'll make a video for that, don't worry. But this is basically you can just type some text in it, and the software or the website will give you an audio recording, which I just bought it here and then put a bunch of effects on the top and just sprinkled it over to my production here. And if you are not sure like what to type, you can of course like use stuff like Chat GPT, or if anyone in your friends or in your family is a singer songwriter, you can actually have some lyrics which can which means something. But this is just some random phrase that I typed in the website, and here we are with this. So first of all, we have an EQ, because when you download stuff from these websites, they are not always very good quality. And if you want to make it sound better, of course, you have to process it a little bit. So first of all, we have this low cut and a high cut, and some more cleaning up the vocal, I would say. Then yeah, this one is important. This one is shifter. So what, actually let me turn off everything here first. Let's just turn off this. This is the reverb, and this one. Okay, so this one is, it's just making the sound a little bit more robotic, I would say. And of course, I'm using this spread feature to make it wide in the mix.
The boundless the boundless possibility, the boundless the boundless possibilities, the boundless possibilities, the boundless.
So I'm just using this wide feature. When you first like put this plugin, this wide feature is not selected. So just turn it on. And of course, you don't want to overdo it. Just go with like 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, I'm like stay below 10 because it works. That's the sweet spot for me. It works in that area for me at least. Okay, then we have of course a de-esser because there were a lot of S sounds. So just to de-ess the vocal.
Boundless possibilities.
So as you can see where the S sounds are, the compressor is actually ducking the volume.
The boundless possibilities.
All right, so moving on, we have our same sidechained reverb.
The boundless possibilities.
With 7-second long decay and a concert hall reverb. Of course, I have cut some low end here and the high end. And
the boundless possibilities.
Then we have some delay.
The boundless possibilities.
And this is just to basically fill up these gaps because the phrase that I came up with was very short. So I chopped the vocal and sprinkled it over in the break section. And to fill these gaps in between, I am just modulating this delay here.
The universe is both our origin and destination, and in its infinite expanse.
And what I did with this one was I double click on this and I have used this texture mode. So you can mess with these settings until you are satisfied, but I have also stretched the vocal a lot to be able to hear the effect of these texture mode. I just thought it sounded cool. So let me show you how it sounds in the break.
Is both our origin and destination, and in its infinite expanse. We discover.
So one more quick trick here that I have used, which is called call and the response, which is pretty common in music composition. So if you notice these words, let me just turn it off. Yeah. So these phrases have these spaces in between, and in these spaces we have the lead sound. So pay close it. Let me just solo this for you actually. Let's solo the lead and the vocals.
The universe is both our origin and destination, and in its infinite expanse. We discover.
So yeah, I mean, like if you have a very short phrase or if you find something on Splice and you really like the vocal, but sometimes I feel the phrase is not, big enough to use. So things like this you can do. Just chop up the vocal and play with some effects like delay, reverb, distortion. Maybe, I'm not sure, but yeah, like try to play with these plugins and try to fill up the space. Yes. Next we have yeah. So that's it actually for the vocal. Rest is just the sweep ups and downs. I can go through them, but this is pretty self-explanatory. I mean, like this is just stuff like these effects, just with some reverb and delay. So just to transition from one section to another, nothing really crazy here. This one I think I have an auto pan. Yeah. So just modulating this rate here. All right, so next, yep, all the normal uplifters and stuff. So yep, this one is just a riser. So yeah, these effects just helps you to transition from one section to another, and these effects are pretty common in genres like this, techno, house, and all of the EDM stuff. You will find these type of sounds everywhere. So yeah, oh yeah, there is two more sounds here. These are just some background elements, some noise to fill up the frequency spectrum a little bit more. And this is just a percussion sound, which is way in the back. Again, stuff from Production Music Live, Production Music Live. These are also from Production Music Live. Yeah, the producer school. So yeah, I'm just using these 2-3 sample packs only. So all right, that was the track. I will play from start till the end, but before that, let me show you what's on my master chain. So first I have this EQ. I'm just cutting everything above 18K just to add some clarity, because the highs were actually too harsh, and some resonant frequencies here, which I just tweaked a little bit. Nothing crazy here. Then we have this ozone here. So first we have this mid side EQ. I'm just rolling off the low end below like 800 hertz. So yep. And then the stabilizer just at 30%, and an exciter, which I am just using just a little bit of it, like not on too extreme settings. So to bring more from the mid range of the track. Then of course we have this good old endless smile, and this one is off. I tried using it, but I didn't like the effect of it. But next we have this Fairchild compressor. Just any compressor would work, but I just like the sound of it, and this is just to basically glue everything together. So I'm just using this one in parallel. So the drive mixes at the 50% with just 3 to 4 decibels of gain reduction. Then again, some saturation, just 20%, and added these two modes here, which I really like. And of course, we have to gain match. Okay. Yep. And yep, this one is actually very, very, very good plugin. Most of the time, I just put it on and I don't change anything other than this tone setting here, which is how bright you want the mix to be, for example. Of course, that is too much, but I like to use it like somewhere in the 20-ish range, 20% ish range. And then we have our final limiter. You can use any limiter. You can use Ableton stock limiter also, but this one is just so transparent. I mean, like it just doesn't add any color to it. So that's why I like this one. So as you can see, we are just aiming for like 3 to 4 decibels max to max. So when it comes to final limiting, I don't like to squash everything too much. Sometimes if it's needed, I mean, like in genres like dubstep maybe, but for this one, you still need the track to be dynamic a little bit. So that's why we are just only aiming for 3-ish decibels. And then just to check the final levels, how loud it is, and a free sort. These are actually, both of them are free, so it's just like the metering stuff. All right, so that was everything for the track, and I'm gonna play the entire track from start to finish.
Is both our origin and destination, and in its infinite expanse, we discover the boundless possibility. Existence.
So yeah, that was the track. Thank you so much for sticking around. So once again, if you have any questions, you can leave it in the comments. And if you want to take a deeper look into this project, you can download it free in the description of this video. Also, if you want to collaborate, if you have a cool idea you want to work together, reach out to me. Or if you want to just say hi, Instagram is the best place. And this is my Instagram, and you can message me over Instagram and I'll get back to you. So yeah, we are so close to hit 2000 subscribers. So please make sure you hit that subscribe button, like this video, or tell me how do you like it. And if you enjoy these kind of tutorial videos, I'll make more of them. Thank you so much for sticking around, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.